So many of us, those of you at home watching, dream of being our own boss. And then also taking something that we are passionate about just in general in our life and turning it into a way to make money.
Hear, hear. So today we're chatting with a New York woman who found that recipe for success by combining two things she loves, baking and pets. Yep. Florence Clifford created her own natural dog treat company, appropriately called A Slice of Heaven for Earth's Angels. All of her treats are handmade straight from her own kitchen. We just found out she and her husband taste everything.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
Yes, we do.
I wonder if that was in the prenup. Florence, welcome to
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
She also has this beautiful indigo eyeshadow.
Yes.
Mascara.
Mascara. And, okay.
Yeah.
I love this because in the break, we got to chatting and we find she has 4 cats. But she has a grand dog who she kind of is doing this for. And I said, well, then hopefully my mother is watching because she has a grand dog and that's all she's going to have for a very long time.
That's right.
So perhaps when she retires in a couple of months, she could maybe start something like this, but like the southern version.
There you go.
Since she's in North Carolina.
I like this.
Anyway, talk to us first about who, what kind of inspired you to take this journey and create this business.
Okay, well, this started off with me baking cakes, actually.
For humans.
At the beginning of the year for humans, yeah, which I love doing.
All right.
But then my daughter and her fiance had rescued Shasta, this gorgeous husky.
Oh
and we were trying to find healthy food for her because everything we're reading on the packaging
is
was
that Shasta?
That's Shasta.
Oh, look at her singing a song.
That's my girl.
Yes, I guess her grandbaby.
So you're trying to find
healthy
food,
food,
Shasta,
and we're looking at all the ingredients, meat byproducts, stuff you can't pronounce. So my daughter started cooking for her, as I did at my house, and then I started baking her these treats, and she went nuts over them. So I said, you know what? This is probably a lot more easier and fulfilling than baking cakes that take me forever.
For humans, right?
And I get more pleasure out of being with the animals and feeding the animals. So I said, let me try it. And it's been a success. She loves them.
Yeah.
And dogs that, like I get a lot of my customers are at street fairs and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And I love that because I get to meet great people and I get to meet their fur babies and it's just a great day.
That sounds like a
win-win.
dream scenario
I was going
for
to
me
say,
personally.
I have your side hustle here. And speaking of side hustle and speaking of what you're doing, so are you classically trained in baking, in cooking?
I've been baking since I'm a young girl. It's always been a passion of mine.
Sure.
So, and I've always wanted to do something with animals. I wanted to be a vet as a child, but I hated school.
Okay.
So that was like not an option because I wasn't going to go that distance. But this gives me an opportunity to be with them and do something I love.
Yeah.
So walk us through this because we have a lot of folks at home watching who often dream of turning their side hustle or their passion into something where they can make money. Right. And not be a professional athlete, right? Like everybody wants to be Michael Jordan or Mia Hamm, or I'm aging myself. What were the steps that you went to? Who taught you how to do this? Did you have to put together a financial plan, a business plan?
So I'm learning as I go.
Great.
I did my research. I found recipes that I liked, and I basically combined ones here and there and made my own. And I just, I mean, I'm going to be 60 in March, and I decided, there's a good thing about being in your 50s, you just don't care anymore what people think about you.
I can't
so
wait.
I didn't worry anymore what people thought, if I'm crazy, why you're doing it this age. I said, you know what, if it works, and that'll be great. And if it doesn't, I've met a lot of great people along the way. I've learned a lot about myself, I've grown, and it's a win-win.
And I'd imagine it's quite rewarding as well. I mean,
It
talk
is
about
rewarding.
instant gratification. You see Shasta give the treat,
Yep.
happy, joy.
Right.
You have a full-time job on top of
I
this.
do.
So as we mentioned, this is your side hustle. How do you juggle these two?
I get up early in the morning if I have orders, and I bake before I go to work.
Oh my God.
And then I continue when I get home, which makes my husband happy because he gets the TV. So he doesn't have to worry about watching the junk that I like to watch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I work it in.
Right.
Well, because you love it, and so you make the time. And I can imagine you said that you have been learning a lot as you go.
I have.
And I'm sure you've learned a lot of tough lessons as well. I mean, you're an entrepreneur.
Right.
What are some lessons that you've learned that are standouts, or something, advice maybe, something you learned that you can pass along to someone who might want to start their own business?
The biggest thing I can say is don't be afraid. And do your research, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. I mean, legal stuff that I had to go through, getting your business license, all that stuff. But just be persistent. And if it's something that you really care about, you're going to be successful.
Right.
In one way or another. It might not be monetarily, but you're going to have success in other ways.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So talk to us about these flavors here, because there's
Okay.
something, what?
Okay, so I have a couple of things going here.
Please.
So these are our party treats. If you ever have a party for your dog, they come in packs of 3s.
It's
And
an
I
ice cream
hand make
cone.
every one of them. I do all the designing and the decorations. These would be perfect for Valentine's Day. They're a bouquet of flowers to give to your pup. Yep. So these are peanut butter and pumpkin. And then you have your beef bites, which are just, everything is organic, all organic ingredients. So these are beef,
Only the best for
cinnamon,
these dogs.
turmeric. The chicken is chicken, turmeric, and parsley, and which is great for their joints.
Sure.
Some of them have coconut. These have coconut flour in it. Those are without the grain. So there's grain-free. They're all limited ingredients.
Because these dogs all have dietary restrictions these days.
Right. So I just had a customer who came to me, couldn't eat any of this. The dog is allergic to everything.
Oh,
so
God.
she told me what the dog can have, and I created a recipe for her. She had 5 dogs, 4 of the 5 loved them. So it's something I might be putting into my
Look at that.
Into your repertoire, on your
Yeah,
menu.
exactly.
So are you doing this in your home kitchen?
in my home kitchen.
Your home kitchen. That's it.
Yep, that's
Just
it.
you're out there doing the thing.
I am.
But you didn't quit your day job.
I did
because
not.
I think that's an important piece for folks who want to make their side hustle their permanent hustle. You can take a leap, but it has to be
Right.
calculated.
And I love my job, so
Well, there you go.
there's no reason for me to go anywhere.
Now I have a Staffordshire Terrier. We're going to take this offline because he's bad.
He's bad. What do we call him? Nino Necio.
Nino Necio, stubborn dog.
Oh,
You are a treat.
thank
so
you
is
so much.
Shasta's mom.
Shasta's mommy over
Shasta's
here.
mom.
Who's getting married in April.
Yay! Oh, you got to talk to her offline too.
Exactly.
She's eventually going to plan a wedding.
Eventually. Thank you so much.
Florence.
Thank you so much for